Over 60? 4 worst vegetables you should never touch, and 4 that prevent heart attack. Have you ever sat down at the dinner table, just finishing a plate of potatoes or sweet corn, and suddenly felt your heart racing, your face flushing with heat, and your body sinking into a heavy weakness as if all your strength had drained away? Did you think it was simply a sign of aging, that a weakening body is just normal? If you have ever believed that, today I want you to stop and reconsider, because that belief itself may be silently pushing you closer to a heart attack or stroke without you even realizing it. The shocking truth is that millions of people over 60 are still unknowingly eating 4 types of vegetables that seem harmless, even healthy, but are quietly destroying their hearts and blood vessels day after day. Can you believe it? The culprits are not red meat, not cigarettes, not alcohol, but the familiar foods served at family meals, the very ones you may have eaten just last week. So why does such a paradox exist? The bad news is, if you are still eating these foods every week, your heart is struggling under the burden without your awareness. But the good news is that alongside these 4 dangerous vegetables, there are also 4 saviors that are incredibly easy to find, inexpensive, and available right at your local market or grocery store. They have been proven to help clean arteries, lower blood pressure, and even reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke by up to 80% in people over 60. Would you like to know what they are? Before we dive into each vegetable, I want you to take one quick action. If you truly care about your heart health and want to know how to naturally prevent heart attacks, hit the subscribe button right now. If you think this information could save the life of a loved one, please click like. And I want you to leave a comment by typing the number 1 if you find this topic helpful, or 0 if you disagree. By doing that, you not only keep yourself updated with life-saving knowledge, but you also help spread this message to the senior community, those who may desperately need this warning right now. Now let's begin. The first vegetable I am about to reveal is found in nearly every kitchen in America. Cheap, easy to cook, and something you may have eaten hundreds of times in your life. Yet for the heart of someone over 60, it can turn into a silent killer. Can you guess what it is?
White potatoes. Have you ever thought that something as familiar as white potatoes, a food almost every household has, could be silently destroying your heart every day? Can you believe that the very tuber you once mashed with butter, fried until golden and crispy, or stewed with meat has now turned into a double-edged sword for the cardiovascular health of people over 60? White potatoes may sound harmless, but they actually have a glycemic index almost equal to refined sugar. This means that just a few minutes after eating a serving, your blood sugar surges, forcing your body to release a massive wave of insulin to cope. Are you familiar with that drowsy, heavy-headed, or drained feeling after a meal with potatoes? That's your body battling a sugar explosion in your bloodstream. More dangerously, this doesn't stop at fatigue. Constantly elevated blood sugar triggers chronic inflammation, gradually damaging the delicate lining of your blood vessels. And do you know what happens when weakened vessels are suddenly hit with a blood pressure spike? That's when the heart can suddenly stop, or the brain can be struck by an unexpected stroke. Do you really want a food that seems so innocent to be the reason you collapse in your sleep or right at the dinner table? The good news is, you don't have to give up the comfort of soft, creamy, easy-to-cook foods. Cauliflower, kale, and turnips can be perfect substitutes. When cooked, they are also tender and delicious, but instead of harming your vessels, they help protect them. Try steaming or roasting them with olive oil and a touch of herbs. You'll be surprised to discover you can still enjoy satisfying meals without sacrificing your heart health. So what do you think? Are you ready to change your habits and remove white potatoes from your plate to protect your heart? But hold on, white potatoes are not the only hidden danger. There is another vegetable, sweet, golden, tied to countless family meals that has now become a silent threat to the hearts of older adults. Can you guess what it is?
2. Corn. Do you remember the last time you had a steaming hot ear of corn, its sweetness melting on your tongue? Maybe it was just last week, or even yesterday. Corn has long been a staple in American households, from buttered popcorn at the movies to fragrant corn chowder at the dinner table. But have you ever imagined that this sweet treat could actually be one of the most dangerous silent enemies to the heart of someone over 60? The truth is, corn today is no longer the same as the corn our parents and grandparents ate half a century ago. Through genetic modification, the sugar content of modern corn has risen by as much as 40% compared to natural corn in the past. Do you know what that means? Every time you bite into those golden kernels, you're loading your body with a massive dose of sugar, causing blood glucose to spike within minutes. And when blood sugar rises, your heart is forced to work twice as hard to pump and maintain rhythm. Are you familiar with that racing heartbeat, flushed face, or drowsiness after eating corn? That is your body's warning sign. But sugar is not the only concern. Corn also contains a protein called zyme, which can trigger inflammatory reactions in the body. For older adults whose immune systems are already weaker, this inflammation can be especially harmful, leading to joint pain, poor digestion, and even skin rashes. Have you ever wondered why you sometimes feel achy or experience stomach discomfort after eating corn without knowing why? The hidden culprit may be this protein. You don't have to cut corn out of your life completely. Instead, choose organic corn, which is less genetically modified. Or better yet, replace it with safer, nutrient-rich vegetables like kale, broccoli, cabbage, or Brussels sprouts. These not only protect blood vessels and lower blood pressure, but also fight inflammation and strengthen long-term heart health. Are you willing to trade a sweet ear of corn for a plate of leafy greens so your heart can stay safer? Your body is your most precious asset, and you are the one who decides how strong and healthy it will be. So why hand that fate over to a risky ear of corn? Still, don't think you've already identified all the culprits. There is yet another vegetable, so common it appears in nearly every meal, from salads to pasta to sauces. Everyone believes it's healthy and full of vitamins, but if eaten the wrong way, it could become a silent destroyer of your heart. Can you guess which bright red vegetable I'm talking about? 3. Tomatoes. Have you ever thought that a food praised as a superfood like tomatoes, bright red, rich in vitamin C, and found in salads, sauces, or pasta, could actually pose a danger to the heart of someone over 60? It sounds unreasonable, doesn't it? Yet the truth is harsher than you might imagine. Tomatoes are indeed packed with valuable nutrients, but there is one thing few people notice: their high acidity, especially in fresh tomatoes. When eaten raw, this acidity can easily trigger acid reflux and damage the esophagus. And do you know the consequences of chronic reflux? It doesn't just cause heartburn and discomfort, it also fuels inflammation in the body. The cardiovascular system is extremely sensitive to inflammation. Over time, as inflammation builds up, blood vessels weaken, blood pressure rises, and the risk of heart attack or stroke climbs. Have you ever felt your heart race, chest tighten, or fatigue set in after eating a plate of tomato salad? Don't dismiss it. That could be your body sending you a warning. In clinical practice, many older patients believe eating lots of tomato salad is healthy. Yet when tested, they were found to have high blood pressure, persistent fatigue, and irregular heart rhythms. After reducing raw tomato intake and completely cutting out processed tomato products, replacing them instead with cooked tomatoes paired with olive oil, their condition improved noticeably. Do you see how critical this difference can be? So what's the solution? Very simple. Prioritize eating cooked tomatoes. Cooking not only lowers their acidity, but also increases their lycopene content, a powerful antioxidant that protects blood vessels and reduces cancer risk.
Try roasting tomatoes with olive oil and herbs. They're not only delicious, but also safer for your heart. And remember, everything is only truly beneficial when consumed correctly and in the right amounts. Most importantly, listen to your body. If you feel tired, bloated, or notice your heart racing after eating tomatoes, take that as a warning. Don't hesitate to get checked and talk to your doctor, because one small change in diet could save you from a major event. Are you ready to try cooking your tomatoes instead of eating them raw so you can enjoy their flavor while keeping your heart safe? And don't think we're done with the list of dangers yet. There's still one more very familiar vegetable seasoning found in nearly every family meal that can send your blood pressure soaring and weaken your blood vessels if consumed in excess. Can you guess what it is?
4. Cilantro, coriander. Have you noticed that in almost every Vietnamese or Latin American dish, there's always a small handful of fresh green cilantro sprinkled on top? Its gentle fragrance and slight spiciness brighten the whole dish. But have you ever wondered, could this tiny, seemingly harmless herb affect your heart, especially once you're past 60? The truth is, cilantro, though rich in vitamins, can stimulate the nervous system and trigger the release of stress hormones. The result is a rise in blood pressure that you might not even notice. Have you ever felt your face flush, your heart pound, or struggled to sleep after a meal heavy with cilantro? If so, that's no coincidence. It's your cardiovascular system reacting. The good news is, you don't have to give up fresh flavors in your meals. There are safer herbs, both delicious and heart-friendly, such as mint, culantro, or basil. Not only do they add fragrance, but they also contain natural anti-inflammatory compounds that help strengthen blood vessels and stabilize blood pressure. Doesn't it feel reassuring to know you can keep flavorful meals without paying the price with your heart health? More importantly, remember that an anti-inflammatory diet is the true key to long-term heart protection. Adding garlic, ginger, olive oil, or avocado to your daily meals can reduce inflammation, improve circulation, and keep your heart strong. Wouldn't you like to experience the difference when your body feels lighter, your mind clearer, and the fear of sudden heart attacks no longer hangs over you? But don't look away just yet, because we've now reached the end of the 4 dangerous vegetables. And this is where the most important part begins. 4 safe, affordable vegetables that act like a biological shield, protecting your heart every single day. And to start, I'll reveal a familiar herb that not only enhances the aroma of your meals, but is also considered a true miracle medicine for cardiovascular health. Can you guess what it is? 5. Garlic. Have you ever thought that a tiny clove of garlic, the humble spice quietly sitting in your kitchen, could actually save your heart from a heart attack or stroke? It may sound miraculous, but the truth is, garlic is more than just a seasoning. It is considered a natural medicine for cardiovascular health, especially once you are past 60. Of course, what important note, if you are taking blood-thinning medications, consult your doctor before increasing garlic intake, since garlic can enhance the effects of those drugs. Safety always comes first, doesn't it? Garlic doesn't just lower blood pressure, reduce cholesterol, and prevent clotting. It also leaves you feeling more energetic, sharper, and healthier every single day. So why let garlic sit forgotten in the corner of your kitchen instead of making it your daily companion for a stronger heart? Would you like to start today with just 1 clove of garlic to feel the difference? And don't think our journey ends here, because right after garlic comes another vegetable, one that few would expect, yet it has the power to regulate blood sugar, prevent diabetes, and protect the heart naturally. Even more, it nourishes your gut microbiome, helping you stay sharper and healthier with each passing day. Can you guess which vegetable it is? Okra. Have you ever thought that a simple, inexpensive vegetable, sometimes dismissed as slimy and unappealing, could actually become a shield protecting your heart and blood sugar? That's right, it's okra. Few people know that okra has the power to stabilize blood sugar, prevent diabetes, and reduce the risk of heart complications, problems that haunt millions of people over 60. Beyond blood sugar control, okra is also a favorite food for beneficial gut bacteria. Its fiber and mucilage nourish a healthy microbiome, improving digestion, lowering the risk of colon cancer, and even supporting memory and mental clarity. Can you see how a simple meal can protect not only your heart, but also your brain? If you dislike okra's slimy texture, don't worry. There are many ways to prepare it. Lightly roasted, sautéed with olive oil, or simmered in soups. But the most effective way to maximize its mucilage is still soaking and drinking it, just as Sandra did. Would you like to start with just 1 or 2 pods a day and feel the change? Okra is not a luxury food, nor an expensive superfood, but its very simplicity is the key for those over 60 to stay healthy, stabilize blood sugar, and reduce heart risks. Are you ready to let this humble vegetable become an extraordinary secret in your journey to protect your heart? But our journey isn't over yet, because right after okra comes a bright red root that many think of only as a salad ingredient or juice base. Yet it contains compounds capable of rejuvenating blood vessels and restoring circulation to youthful levels. Can you guess which root I'm talking about? 7. Beets. Have you ever seen those deep red beets at the supermarket and thought they were just another ordinary vegetable? Maybe even a little hard to eat. But hidden beneath that red skin is a natural medicine that can rejuvenate blood vessels, lower blood pressure, and restore circulation as if you were in your 20s again. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? Yet science has already proven it. Beets are packed with natural nitrates. Once inside the body, nitrates convert into nitric oxide, a remarkable molecule that relaxes blood vessels, boosts circulation, and eases the workload on the heart. Do you see how critical this is when blood vessels naturally stiffen and lose elasticity with age? Just 1 glass of beet juice can feel like untying the ropes around your heart, allowing blood to flow more smoothly and your heartbeat to stay steady. The best way to begin is to start with just a 1/4 cup of beet juice in the morning, especially before light exercise. Then gradually increase the amount as your body adapts. And if you're not fond of juice, you can still enjoy cooked beets in salads or soups. Even if your urine or stool turns red afterward, don't panic. That's just a sign your body is absorbing the nutrients from this special root. Beets are not a luxury item, but they bring a quiet rejuvenation to blood vessels and the heart. Wouldn't you want your days filled with energy, stable blood pressure, a sharp mind, and a stronger heart? But don't celebrate just yet. The biggest secret is still ahead. Because there's a group of dark leafy greens, from kale to spinach to arugula, that not only reduce inflammation and lower blood pressure, but also prevent calcium from building up in the arteries, protecting your heart and keeping your brain younger by a decade. Are you curious to know how these fragile leaves hold such incredible power? 8. Dark leafy greens. Have you ever thought that those fragile, dark green leaves, so often treated as a side dish at meals, might actually be the strongest shield for your heart and brain? Spinach, kale, arugula, they may sound ordinary, but in truth, they are nature's powerhouse that every person over 60 urgently needs. Why is that? Dark leafy greens are packed with exceptional nutrients. Vitamin K strengthens bones, folate supports brain function, magnesium regulates heart rhythm, lutein protects vision, but the most remarkable benefit one few people know is that they are a natural source of vitamin K2, a nutrient that plays a decisive role in vascular health. Surprised? Vitamin K2 is what directs calcium to the right place, into your bones, rather than letting it harden in your arteries. Picture this. When calcium builds up in the arteries, it's like cement slowly clogging a water pipe. Over time, the flow narrows,
blood pressure rises, and the risk of heart attack and stroke lurks nearby. Would you want your vessels to turn into blocked pipes at any moment? On the other hand, when you eat leafy greens, vitamin K2 guides calcium safely into bones, leaving arteries clear, elastic, and allowing the heart to pump with ease. Dark leafy greens don't just fight inflammation, lower blood pressure, and prevent artery calcification. They also give you peace of mind, knowing you are actively protecting your health each day. So, would you like to make leafy greens your loyal companion at every meal to keep your heart and brain strong? But don't leave just yet, because now we've reached the most important part. After discovering the 4 dangerous vegetables to avoid and the 4 powerful ones that protect the heart, you'll see a central lesson. True health doesn't come from expensive medicines, but from the small choices you make at the table each day. And I'll wrap up with this final message, showing you why one small change today can save you decades of life ahead. Are you ready? I know, changing eating habits after decades is not easy, but you don't have to change everything at once. Just start with one small step. Remove white potatoes from tonight's dinner. Add a little kale. Or tomorrow morning, crush a garlic clove, let it sit for 10 minutes, and eat it with bread. Do you see how one small action can become the beginning of an entire journey toward better health? And the most wonderful thing is, you are not alone. Millions of older adults around the world are walking this same path, the path of small but steady changes, and you can absolutely be one of them, making each passing day a healthier, more peaceful day. So, before you leave this video, I want you to do 3 small things. Click like if you found this information helpful, share this video with your loved ones because one share could save another heart, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell so you never miss the latest tips to prevent stroke, heart attack, and live stronger in your golden years. You deserve a healthy heart, a clear mind, and a life fulfilled with family. And it all begins today with the choices you place on your plate. So, what will you choose for tonight's meal? The silent danger or the new hope for your heart? The decision is in your hands.